to kind of sort of 2 or 3 days before you travel. This welcome email will contain details of, kind of your accommodation address, the plan for your arrival. It's really important to read it, just to make sure that you may be arriving into one part of an airport and the rest of the cohort are arriving into the other part of the airport, and so therefore it'll have instructions where you are meeting people. So please make sure that you read it. It may also have things that the trust want you to do before you arrive or on the first couple of days. So some of the trusts ask you to go and get an online bank account. Some trusts book you a bank account appointment, but some may ask you to do an online bank account, because they want you to present that to the trust on your first day with the trust. So do have a read, because there will be instructions in there. If you read it and you don't understand something, then ask the recruitment advisor who sent it, or ask the recruitment manager from NHS Professionals. Please do read it and ask questions if you don't understand. We set up a WhatsApp group, so we put the whole cohort of the nurses that you're arriving with into that WhatsApp group, or kind of if you are a radiographer and you're arriving at the same time as a cohort of nurses, we'll put you into that arrival group, just so that if you're all arriving together and you're kind of traveling together, you're on a group with other people, and you can ask questions, and either the recruitment manager or the recruitment advisor will answer it. But just be aware that our working hours are 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, so if you ask a question on an evening, it may not get answered until the next day. But obviously on that, what we ask you to do is when you arrive is obviously go to the meeting point, and if for any reason you can't locate the meeting point, put a message on the WhatsApp group, and also you might find that the person meeting you at the airport will also put a message on the group to say, I'm here, I'm waiting at this point, or they may ask you how it's going. Sometimes we find when on arrival day there are big queues at the airport in terms of people coming for immigration, so sometimes it takes people a lot longer. But don't worry, we will make sure that you're all together before we leave the airport. And on arrivals day, there generally will be someone from NHS Professionals who'll meet you at the airport, and like I said, they post something on the chat to say, I'm here, I'm waiting here, and they will make sure that you get on the arranged travel that you has been provided from the airport to your trust. So they will be liaising with the coach or the minibus to make sure that you get on it. They'll also make sure that you all get on it, and then they'll let the trust know that you're on the way. Once you've kind of left the airport, we normally add the trust to that WhatsApp group, and sometimes we ask someone to give us a live location pin just to let us know how you're getting on, because often the coach drivers can't talk to us because they're driving, so it's just good for us to know how the journey's going, and the trust will be waiting the other side to meet you. Sometimes there'll be someone from NHS Professionals there as well, and sometimes it will just be the trust, but they will be there waiting for your arrival and to make sure that you kind of settle into your accommodation. Again, if you're going to your own accommodation, it may be that the trust has said that you can travel with the cohort to the trust accommodation, then make your own way to your own accommodation once you get to that city. But just do check, because the assumption is if you are going into your own accommodation that you're making your own transport arrangements, and family members cannot be transported on the coach, because often there's insurance reasons, around that. So please don't assume that your husband or your children can travel in the trust accommodation. You need to check, you need to ask that question, and you need to make sure that you've made plans. So that's kind of what to expect on arrival day.